Hello everyone, this is Priyanka. Welcome to my channel Automation with Priyanka. Today in this video, I will be talking about how we can set up Selenium Grid, using Docker. Previously also I have recorded that video and that is added in the playlist Selenium WebDriver 4. But I have noticed that whenever students are doing that setup, right, at that time they are facing some challenge because latest update is what, like while doing Selenium Grid setup, you need to do the authentication also. So for that steps or for latest steps, how we can able to make the grid setup possible, right, for Selenium, that I will be showing you in this video. Coming to the part, what is Selenium Grid? Guys, Selenium is a very popular functional testing tool. With the help of Selenium, you are able to test web applications. And in Selenium, Selenium Grid is a third component. Grid will help you to test your application into multiple environments. So generally, if you really wanted to test your application in a distributed environment, we use Selenium Grid. Technically, I have covered this point here. What is Selenium Grid? Selenium Grid allows the execution of WebDriver script on the remote machine by routing command sent by the client to remote browser instance. So normally, what Grid aims to provide easy way to run the test, in a parallel on multiple machines, right? You are able to run your test in on multiple machines. Allow testing on different browsers also. Even it will help you to enable cross-platform testing. So how the grid setup is possible? See, previously it is all about the physical setup. So generally when you will use Selenium Grid, as I mentioned, whenever you wanted to run your test in parallel against different browser types or different versions or let's say different operating system, absolutely. Whenever you wanted to run your test on distributed environment, better solution is what? Follow the grid. So to reduce time needed to execute test suite on different environment, we are able to, reduce that time with the help of grid setup. Technically, what is the concept? If you prepare 100 test cases, consider I'm having complete suite and suite contains multiple test cases. Now, what is the point? I would like to run this on multiple platforms. Consider I'm having first machine, which is a Windows machine. Second machine I'm having, that is a Mac machine. And third machine I'm having, let's say Linux. How I can run total 100 test cases, on these different platforms. So one solution is what? Run all the 100 first on Windows. After completion of all the 100 test cases, I would like to go with Mac machine and then I will execute it on Linux. But this is called independent execution. Agree? Now here what happened? It will take a lot of time because we are doing sequential execution. So in Selenium Grid, which is actually based on hub and switch technology. So what does mean by hub switch technology, everyone? Here we generally use one server, which is nothing but hub. We pass our request, all the test cases to the server. Server is connected with the different machines. So like your Mac, Windows and Linux through the switch. And then these machines we can call in a technical word node. This is node 1, this is node 2, and this is your node 3. Agree? So when the setup is ready, we can pass our test cases to the server. And now guys, it is possible to run all the test cases on 3 different platforms concurrently, nothing but the parallelly. So at a time, we are able to run everything on 3 different browsers, 3 different platforms, and we are able to run it. So generally for distributed environment only, we use Selenium Grid, right? Now you can see this is the base grid architecture. We write the Selenium logic or Selenium test. We pass it to the hub. Hub is connected with the multiple machines. Those are, we can call it as node. And then this connectivity, once it is done, we are able to run our application on different platforms. But previously, to cover this grid architecture, very initially, like it is like tester is surrounded with multiple machine. It was like a physical setup, right? Later on, hypervisor came. So like a virtual machine. So on the one particular platform, we are partition our operating system. And I discussed that part in the first session of Docker, that how exactly, when you use virtual machine concept, it will occupy the complete operating system, right? Means that kernel will be completely required, copied the kernel, and it will just, create the environment over there. So we are able to design our virtual machine. So there are multiple, problems we have with the virtual machine. Even to set up that virtual machine, I discussed this architecture, if you remember. On the top of the hardware, right, we have operating system and 70% area occupied by the kernel, right? So when we talk about virtual machine, means when we install hypervisor, what it does, we are able to create, on the same top of the operating system, multiple virtual machines. But whenever we are creating multiple virtual machine, kernel is occupied here completely. So kernel is not shared in this architecture. And that's the reason. One problem is this, kernel is completely used. Second problem is what? Whenever you wanted to design multiple machines, then base operating system size will be huge size. Then only it is possible. To handle any problem with the virtual machine, we need an expert. Without that, we are not able to handle the problem. So because of these many issues, now we have another solution, that is Docker. What is a Docker? We have learned in the first session itself. Those are new. Kindly watch that recording. You will understand what Docker it is. So it is a software platform where we are able to create our isolated environment. Docker is a complete containerization mechanism. And technically, it not copied the kernel, right? It is a complete kernel sharing technology. So whenever you have a base hardware, and on the top of that, whenever we have operating system, and whenever we install Docker engine, right? Docker engine is the main component. On the top of the Docker engine, you need to take an image. Then on the top of image, you can design your container. And container is a place where we can execute our application isolatedly. Correct? So Docker is a mechanism which will help you to create your own environment. And there inside that environment, we are able to run our application. So we already discussed what Docker it is. I have already explained these entire topics over there, right? And this is the architecture also we have discussed, during that session. So just understand the point. But my main intention for this video is what? How to set up grid environment. So for that, let me come back to the browser. So now you wanted to set up grid. So do one thing, just search for Selenium Grid, okay? GitHub. Just search for GitHub link, okay? This is the official website, everyone. Selenium HQ Docker Selenium. So through the Docker, I'm just trying to cover now how you can able to create your own environment and how you are able to run the test case through the Docker. So the point is, very first, come to this website. When you open, this is the GitHub page and just scroll down. So here you will get lot of information and they have given the contents also. So what is Docker and in fact how we can able to set up, many ways are there here, okay? Dynamic ways also you are able to set up, different environments, different machines also you are able to set up. Lot of points they have covered. I will be showing the simplest technique to just start your grid, just to understand the concept, right? So this is what Herbert knows. When you click on here, see there are different ways to run the images. Grid with hub node architecture. So either you can do it manually, but I told you manual way is quite complicated. Every image, every container, you need to take it separately and run these many commands, okay? Then only it is possible. So what is the better option? Come down and you will get this option here, Docker Compose. And see, they have itself mentioned that Docker Compose is the simplest way to start a grid. Use a link resource below and save it locally and execute instruction on the top of each file. They have given two versions, Docker version 1, version 2 and version 3. And this is the YAML file. I told you this is .yml. It is called configuration file. Okay. So they have already given every configuration here. So what we need to do is just click on this file. You will able to see this file directly here. Okay. Let's do one thing. We are just going to run this YAML file. They have given a complete command also. Okay. How to run this YAML file. But the first one is what? I need this YAML file here. So let's download it. Okay, so I have downloaded one YAML file, Docker Compose version 3. And now what we can do, come back to your local machine. So let's say if I come back to this Docker, okay, another compose file I have stored it here, Docker chain LP. I have returned that folder name. And within the same folder, I would like to keep this new file. So what I'm going to do, I will just come to the download and this file I will cut it from here and better I will come to the desktop and under this I'm just going to maintain it. Fine. And guys, where the file is available, whatever folder it is, okay, just open from that command prompt. Great. Now, what is the command to run this file? So please have a look. They have mentioned here that command. If you really wanted to run this file, you can just run this command, correct? Docker compose -f, and we need to write, okay, that file name and up is the what particular. We can say just to start that server, we need to follow this command. So copy this command, come back to your command prompt and just write it here. Now the main part. When you start here, server has to be started. Once the server will started, then guys, you will able to see that setup. Okay. But where you can check the setup, for Selenium Grid, we have a port number 4444. So whenever you run this command, you need to check the setup on your localhost 4444 port number. But let's see first what kind of challenges our participants are facing. So whatever steps I have mentioned in the previous video also, same step you need to do. Next time, directly I'm getting this message. Okay, I'm unable to start this system because system cannot find the, okay, this particular path. So current path is not found. That's the reason we are getting this error. But actually the file is available at the same folder, right? Chain LP, that particular folder, and where is the file available? I'll do one more step. Suppose if the file is not readable from here, okay, which I have created already, saved already. Let me try one more time. If I open command prompt, if I follow the same, yeah, again it says that image is not able to read. So let's do one more step. Okay, I'll open first my Docker. Let me check Docker engine is working fine or not. Okay, let this start everyone. Okay, so it's working fine. See, last chain test reporting that container also we are able to see here. Okay, great. Now let me come back to the same location. Let's do one more step. Whenever you are facing this kind of issue, either it might be the location issue, right? It is not able to find it out. So better I'll do one thing. I'll create a separate folder. Let's do create a separate folder. I'll say Selenium Grid better. And I will cut this file from here and I will paste it here. Okay. And let's do one thing now from this location, open command prompt. Let me try same command now. Okay. So our previous command is, let me just cut this out. Okay. We don't need it. Let me cut manually now. Fine. And what's the command I need to follow? So we are not able to run this command, right? Docker compose -f and then our file name and up. I would like to start the server. And now just have a look, some workaround. If we are not able to do, here it is running fine. Great. So very first step, I think that was the problem because I have kept the both YAML file in the same folder, right? So that's the reason it is not allowing me to start the server. So let's keep it separately, guys, and let's try. Now configure it. It will take some time. So it is putting over the image, and we will not get any kind of error here. Now you can see once the all images got pulled, right? So you will be able to see that your server is started. Okay, this is how you will able to see that Docker is started and where you can check that, okay, server status. So guys, as I told you, for Selenium Grid, you need to write localhost, okay, And the port number you need to write 4444. That is the port number for Selenium Grid. And now if you can see, this is the grid setup. So it's very simple when you have properly Docker installed, right, on your machine. And if you now, you can check it out. This is how the server got started. And this is our remote address, right, where we can write a logic. And now we can run our application on this browser. So internally, you can see it is taking Linux operating system. And here you can see these are the browser versions for Mozilla, Microsoft Edge, and for Chrome. Now let me show you the script, okay, how we can write a logic to run anything on Selenium Grid. So I have already created this last project framework, right? Better I will show you here itself. I will just create a new package. So let me just right click and let me to create a quick package. Let's write let me write Selenium Grid. Okay, please have a look. Now grid means, now I'm writing directly TestNG test case. Better. And here, okay, test Selenium Grid Setup. Let me first show you on a one browser and just have a look. How we can test it? That is our first question. So I just wanted to test your setup, right? Better I'm writing test setup and let me write in this manner and complete your method. Great. How we can start writing the logic? See, normally in Selenium, whenever you wanted to create a session, we always write driver is equal to new Chrome driver, correct? But this time, I would like to start the session, okay? Start the session, okay, on remote browser. Where we wanted to start on remote browser, not with the browser which is available in my local machine. So very first step, you need to write driver, and for grid guys, whenever you wanted to start your session for Selenium Grid, we have to use child class for WebDriver interface, that is remote WebDriver. You will be writing new, just create remote WebDriver constructor, and in the constructor, we are passing two things. Okay. First is URL, that we are hosting that where we have hosted that server. The second we need to pass like which browser, the server or which browser you wanted to run the application. See, let me import WebDriver first. Okay. So now let me save the code and let me again try to import. So it is asking me, okay, change to remote WebDriver, and this is wrong. So I'll do one thing. I'll first remove this. Let me first write driver. Let me import WebDriver first properly. Done. And now better I will add that statement, new remote WebDriver. Okay. Now please have a look. How we can add here, let me import remote WebDriver also from Selenium. Done. Once this step is done, see why it is not allowing us, because I need to pass two things. Whenever you are customizing the browser session, remember to customize, okay, to customize any browser session, in Selenium, we have classes. Like for Chrome, we have Chrome options. For Firefox, we are having Firefox options, right? Currently, suppose I would like to start the session on Chrome. Then I will be creating Chrome options class object. Example, I'm writing cap. It is equal to new. Again, I'm writing Chrome options constructor. And let's do import it, right? Import it from same Selenium package. Now guys, to start the session, I would like to create a URL also. How to pass remote address or that particular URL where we have started our session, that is Selenium Grid. So to pass this URL, I will copy and I will just write here URL class from Java. Create object. This is the class coming from java.net package. So I'm writing URL. It is equal to new URL constructor. And within a constructor, I'm writing this remote URL. Fine. Now let's import your URL class from the java.net package. Do import properly. Yes, and this is again another common issue. People are facing this kind of issue, right? If there is a line on URL, so technically it is not allowing you to accept the URL. So guys, do one thing. You can take object class URL class. Okay? And then you can apply method. Better let me first import it. Right from from Java.net. This time it is again asking me change to URL, but no, I wanted to write here URL. Let me write URL, and at this moment if I write, okay, we can convert to URL method, then only it is possible. So let me again import. See, now I'm getting correct answer. Okay, import URI from java.net. So listen carefully. If you have this issue, you can just import it in this manner. Okay. And now it says to URL method undefined for the URL. And it is to URL. Okay. So I would like to write here URL. I need to write in this manner. Okay. So actual method name is to URL in the capital letter. Fine. And now what happens? So you guys have resolved the issue of URL address. If URL is not readable, you will be not able to pass it. Now this time this URL we can pass. So I will be passing two things. One is a URL. Second one is my capability. When you pass it, now this line is throwing one exception, which is URL syntax exception. I'll do one thing. I'll just throws the declaration at this moment. Let me save it. So at a time it is passing two exceptions. I'm just throwing it and I'm just saving the script. Fine. Now this is done. So once we start the session, I'll do one thing. I will put some message also. Okay. So I'll say browser this time, remote browser session, better, remote browser session started. Okay. Now browser session will start here. But then what I need to do is I would like to open some application. So let's open here. Let's say Google. Okay. I'm trying to open google.com. But guys, this session will be very quick. So better I will put just to show you proper result. I'm adding little thread here. Okay. So let me pass little pause. So very first I'm passing 5000 pause. Once the session will start, we will get 5 seconds to wait, right? And once the application will open, now I'm passing little bit more thread. Let's say 10 seconds. So I'm passing 10,000 milliseconds. This will wait for 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, I should have, let's say I'm trying to capture title, right? So title is, and here I would like to attach that driver dot get title method. Got it? And then guys, once the session will be completed, I should close it. Okay, so I'm writing driver dot quit. And here I would like to add a message. Okay, driver session closed. So just try to understand first where I'm creating session at this moment. I'm not creating on my local machine. Okay. This session should create on our setup, that is Selenium Grid. And here on the Chrome, you should be able to see the result. Let's see now, if I come back to the automation script and if I right click and if I run this test case, what is the output? Okay. At this moment, I'm just directly getting failure. Okay, let's see why. And what is the error here? It says session not created exception. Okay, let's see why it is not created. So first point, could not start a new session, unable to parse remote response, unable to find resource, invalid path in the URL. Okay, so I'll do one thing. Let me remove this and let me keep only this URL. Now let's try one more time. Only localhost 4444 port number I'm writing. And this time, let's come back to the Selenium Grid. Yeah, you can see session got started here. So don't write UI, okay? Where you can see the result come to the session. Here you can see the video. Write a password secret and you can see connection accepted. And this is my Google Chrome. Okay, start executed. And yes, this is how you will able to see the result. Got it? So I'm able to run my one test case on one specific browser. So tomorrow you wanted to run it on Microsoft Edge, maybe Firefox, right? You just need to write your capability. And this type of execution is possible. But now I would like to show you parallel test, right? So guys, please have a look. Again, I'm writing another test case. Okay, let me take it TestNG class. And this time I'm writing parallel test. So few topics from TestNG you need to understand here. Okay. See, very first, How I will be writing, okay, test parallel, okay, parallel execution. Great. But how we can write in a parallel mode? I need to compare browsers here, right? What I'm going to do, everyone, first a point, I will take an input from the XML file of TestNG. So I'm passing here browser. Let me write a simple logic. If browser name, okay, if it is equals, okay, either you can take equals or equal ignore case. It is up to you. If it is equals with Chrome, I would like to start my session directly on a Chrome browser. Either you can write a switch case, doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm just using simple if else statement and just have a look. What I wanted to do is if it is a Chrome, I would like to write here Chrome options tab is equal to new. And here I'm again writing Chrome options class object. Okay. First of all, create a option class object because now I don't want it to start my session on the same browser, local browser. It should be removed. Then guys, what I can do second step is you can directly write on the top, I will declare web driver. Why? Because this is a driver which I will be keeping as a global variable in Java. Got it? I just need to use it in my test. I'm utilizing the same driver. Is it equal to new what web driver? This class particular class. I told you, URL little class and method option is what capability. Yes, I can write in this manner also. URL, whatever that URL it is, you can pass it here. Again, if I copy only corrected URL, okay, till only 4444, pass it. And there I'm writing what? Along with this URL, I'm passing what? Cap. So both the properties I have passed. Okay, you can write in this manner also. Object URL. Now let me see. Remote WebDriver, now it says it cannot be resolved to a type. Okay, so I just need to import remote WebDriver also, right? So let me import. That's it. Now we can import URL from java.net. And now you can see again I'm having same issue, right? So what to do? I told you just write URL and take a method here that is talk to URL. That's the method. So let's import URI class from java.net. Just make the correction, nothing else. And then this will throw some exception. So just throw it. Great. And test is saved. So I just wanted to start my session on Chrome like this. But if the condition is different, let's say else. Else if again I'm testing what? So here I'm writing the logic. If browser name starts with age, okay, just have a look. Age, then I would like to start the session on age. So very first we have to choose here option class, which is a age options class. And let's import it from Selenium. So rest of the part remains same, correct? Again, I will just put for third browser else and I will write if the browser name, let me take it on next line. If the browser name matches with Firefox, then guys, I would like to start the session on Firefox. So here I'm changing that option, okay? Firefox options class. Let me import it first from the Selenium. Okay, so this is Firefox options and let me write here too. Then only it will allow you proper import. Yes. Now try. See, now I'm getting Firefox options. And I'm starting my session on the same browser. After that, what I need to do? Okay, my first statement is I will be writing remote browser session. Okay, session started. Clear? Started. Great. And then what I'm going to do is I would like to show you the that particular session, right? So I will keep little bit thread here. Guys, I'm writing now 10-second timeout. Okay. Let me import that thread.slip. I mean, throw the exception actually, interrupted exception, not import. And then I'm writing here statement after this thread, driver.get. Okay, this time suppose I would like to open Amazon. So just write a proper okay URL, amazon.in. And after this, okay, what I would like to do is add again thread. So why thread? Because I wanted to show you that result. In your case, you don't need to add it. Okay. Again, I'm adding suppose 10,000 millisecond means 10-second timeout. And then suppose I just wanted to capture again title. You can take URL. It's up to you. So I'm just capturing title. And yes, I have to write driver dot get title. Finally, I will write one more step, driver dot quit. That's it. And now let me add here, okay, driver session closed. Great. So I'm trying to show you the parallel execution, but how we can run this logic, where we are reading this input, right? So here I will be using parameters. Okay, I'm writing parameters annotation where I'm reading the data from the Excel file. I mean XML file. Sorry, not Excel. It is a XML file. TestNG framework is completely based on the XML file, right? So we need to pass that parameter here, whatever parameter we are passing in the file. So I will just write first parameter annotation and please import it from same annotation, testng dot annotations. Done. And save it. Done. Now what I'm going to do is to run this parallel test, I need XML file. So just keep mouse pointer on testng. You will get these two options. Convert this to testng XML. You can see here that testng.xml is ready. I will just change the name. Let's say parallel.xml. And let me click on next. Now I'm not getting any refactor. Okay, fine. We will add it. So you will be able to see in this manner. Under test now, what we need to add classes. So let's add a structure. So you can see now lot of things like if you are not able to see the correct XML, you can create it, right? Workaround is available. Just create it. Like you can write your name, class name is equal to what? Here we can pass that particular class, okay? And the name for that class. Where is my class? My class is parallel test. But my class is a part of which package? You need to first take package name. So I will be copying this package name, come to the XML, pass it here, okay, dot, and there you need to write that class name. So class name without any spelling mistake, I will just copy paste and I will write it here. Done. But we are passing one parameter. So here I will take that parameter. Just have a look. I'm writing browser name and at this moment I'm passing, let's say Chrome. Now we have written a method equals method. Equals will look for exact matching, right? So make sure that whatever values you are writing, it should be valid. It's a Chrome, right? In my test also, I have written what? Here it is C small Chrome, right? So parameter should be same, then only it will start the session. So already we have seen previously for Chrome, but this time guys, I'm trying to show you parallel test. So what I'm going to do, this is my one suit. In suit, I wanted to run the complete test on three different browsers. So first I will convert, I will create here three tests. Again in TestNG, if you run directly, it will throw the exception that every test should not have a same name. So I'm just changing the test name. Okay, you can write anything. I'm just writing test 1, 2, and 3. And better, I will just pass here another argument like for Microsoft Edge. I'm writing value as a age. For Firefox, I'm writing same Firefox. And make sure that these variables are matching here. Okay, Edge, Firefox, and Chrome. Now we are ready to run our application. But again, if I run in this manner, what will happen? One by one, you will able to see the result. I'm trying to show you parallel test. So better just add here one attribute parallel. Parallel is equal to what? I'm running parallel test. That's it. Three tests in one suit I wanted to run. So I'm just using parallel is equal to test. When you write this, save it. And now what we are expecting whenever I execute it, it should run directly on that particular, okay, remote site. So let's try to run it. If I run testng suite, now please have a look. Here it should start the session. Yeah, all three started. See, it's a parallel execution now. Here you can see that. Open any one, write a password secret and accept the connection. If connection successful, you will able to see that test. Here this test is running through the Selenium Grid. And this is what I would like to show you. If you close, see other browsers are still running, come back. Firefox will take a lot of time, okay, sometimes. So let's start it. And yes, it is completed. So now every three, okay, parallel testing is completed. And I'm just getting the result. 3 run, 3 are pass. And this is all about the Selenium Grid setup. So I hope you guys are understood the topic. So do it on your machine and try to complete this setup. This is how you guys are able to do the Selenium Grid through the Docker. It's very simple step, hardly one step. If you install properly Docker, you don't need to do any other step now. Just create a setup and you can try this snippet. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching this video.